Hello, hello. Let's talk about sex for a quick moment. Quick. I don't have all day to talk about this, but I watched this video and this guy was sharing some information. He said he was asked, why do men cheat? And so he went on to a list of things and he says, well, let me just tell you one of the things or a few things that will not stop a man from cheating. So he mentioned, you could cook, you could clean, give him all of the sex in the world. And, he just went down a list of things. And I agreed because truthfully, in the comment section, tell me, have you ever said this before or have known of a woman to say, I've done all of these things. I've cooked, I've cleaned, I gave him all of the sex he wanted, I had his bath water ran, I take care of the kids, and yet he still cheated. Just type yes if you have. Just a quick yes, because I'm curious, because I know I've said it, and I've known of other women to have said the same thing. So I agree with him to a certain degree. We cannot allow one rule or something that you hear someone saying to apply to every single person, every single situation, because that's just simply not the case. It's not the case. He said the way to get a man to not cheat is to actually be his friend, be his best friend, and then chances are he wouldn't want to get out there and cheat because he got this woman that's his peace. She's his joy. He could talk to her about anything. This is his place of comfort. And we all know that, ladies, we know how to create that safe space for men when we want to. So he says this is one of the ways to get a man not to cheat. Now that is not true in its entirety, because you have some men out here, we could give them a host of all of that. We could have the pillow talks. We could talk about all sorts of things. And yes, he comes home, he may cry on her shoulders, and he does all of that. But there's something in him that will not allow him to stop cheating. So that's where the issue comes. We have friends outside of our relationships. We have great friends, best friends that some of us call. But don't we have problems with in those friendships as well? Don't situations happen where you get into disagreements and sometimes that friendship ends for a period of time, or maybe you're not speaking to each other for a period of time? But y'all have been like this for many, many years, decades. Well, it's the same in a marriage. It's the same in a relationship. Just because you're that great listener, you're that comforter for this man, don't mess around and get your feelings hurt thinking that that is going to totally annihilate him from cheating. That is just simply not the case. It's not the case. You may have that woman, that situation where you're going through some challenges in your marriage, your relationship. It could be with the children. You're not agreeing with things regarding the kids. It could be your in-laws interfering. It could be a host of anything, but y'all are tight. But that situation, whatever it is causing friction in your relationship. And you're thinking, okay, I'm good. He's not going to do that. And then your heart busts. You're hurting because you're like, my goodness, my best friend, my friend cheated on me like this. So let me give you a little tip here. Always ask in your relationships. Now, you're not just going to outright just bust out and say to a man or a woman, but we're talking about men right now. But you're not going to just all of a sudden bust out and say, have you ever been molested? You have to ease your way into conversations like that and ask those hard questions. Because if he was molested, he could potentially be very promiscuous. And you may not be able to satisfy him sexually. And he steps out, but he loves you. Ask that question. How does he feel about infidelity in the marriage? What will we tell our daughters about relationships as it pertains to sex? What conversations did you have with your parents? Ask these questions. We got to get out of just asking, what do you like? What do you enjoy? Oh, I like the walks in the park. I like the beach. I like the movies. We ask these little common questions, and generally people are so accustomed to those questions being asked, they're able to answer it Jimmy on the spot. But what about the hard questions that I just mentioned? It is okay to listen to information, but you got to make sure that you're rightfully applying it to your life. You have to make sure that you're doing that. Even when I'm listening to preachers, there are certain things that I don't agree with when it's based on their opinion. I don't agree with it. So you have to rightfully know what applies to you and what you should apply to your life. Another woman may do something with her child that worked instantly for her. It could have been a situation where, her son was doing some messed up stuff out in the street, or her daughter, and she did something. She put them in some type of program, or she had a family discussion with her child, and it worked. But the next person, that may not work for them. It may not work. So every situation will not apply to every single thing. And I'm looking at the time, y'all, and I don't have my glasses on, and this light over here, this ring light, is hot. So I'm busting out in the sweat right now. So just make sure that when you're listening, you don't just assume and think to yourself that this is going to be the direct answer from my situation. I'm giving him all of these things. I'm his friend. I'm his mother's best friend. I'm the sister best friend. I take care of his children that may not even be mine, but I take care of them as if they are. Yet he cheats. He may have a situation that you're unaware of. He could just be that man that just loves multiple women, but you're that one he married. You get to that point, you have to make a decision. You make that decision, and no one else could tell you when. No one else could tell you when. I used to say some years ago, I would never tell a woman to leave her husband. But I beg to differ. There are some situations in marriages, if counseling is not helping, you might have to make a decision, girl. Man, you might have to make a decision. Because there are some women out here who is off the chain. And they dog out the good ones. That man that comes home and does everything for her. And yet, she dogs him out. So there are some women who is jacked up too. Real jacked up. But anyway, share the video. My name is Tracy Smiles DeLeston. I'm a certified life coach. Get your purchase of Freedom from Narcissistic Abuse. Make an international bestseller. Write a review on Amazon. Subscribe to my YouTube channel if you've not already done so. Click the notification bell on all platforms that you are viewing this video on, so that you would be notified when I am uploading new content. And as always, if you ever need any coaching, you can always contact me at healthymindforreal@gmail.com. The number 4, healthymindforreal@gmail.com. You can also contact me at 803-729-1766. That number is used for business purposes only. Give me 24 hours to respond back to you. Only if you need my assistance. Okay? Talk to you later.